Hey everybody, welcome to another discussion video. It is Josh Thomas from TheBitBlock here, joined by... Wait, who am I joined by again? I forget.
RogersBase! Hey, what's going on, everybody?
You startled me.
Startled you? You asked me to be on here. Hello?
Oh, jeez. All right, so listen, today we are actually going to be talking about something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. Roger,
Yes.
we're going to be talking about Nintendo's 2015 releases for both platforms, the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U. My goodness, there's a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about, but at the same time, it's also kind of disappointing, which is something we'll have to talk about a little later, because there's a lot of games that are apparently planned for 2015, yet we've seen nothing on, and might not make 2015, and that I'm not hopeful will make 2015, because I just don't think it's realistic. But we'll talk about that in a bit. So
I don't even know what games you're referring to, because all the games that we have on a list here, we have seen.
yes, but you'll see.
All right,
Okay.
you're up to no good already, and I'm not happy
Up to
about
no
that.
good. Hey! That's okay.
So first up, let's talk about the little Nintendo 3DS, because actually, so far, there really aren't a lot of games announced for it. We know about a game called Codename Steam,
Yep.
which was shown at E3. I don't know about you, but I have no interest in this game.
Codename Steam?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. And this, I think, goes into one of my first predictions, because I know we're going to be talking about predictions a little later, too.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the Intelligent Systems game I was hoping for. Okay. So I was actually at the Roundtable event when they announced this back at E3 this year. And I was sitting in line with, it was like Duncan Knee Deep, Shofu, Giancarlo, and a couple other people. And we were all just talking about, oh, what could this 3DS game possibly be? What could this possibly be? And everyone was like, oh, it's a Majora's Mask remake. It's got to be. Everyone wants a Majora's Mask remake. The timing seems right. Aonuma's here at the show. It's got to be Majora's Mask. And so when we found out it was this Codename Steam game, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I think the concept's kind of cool, and I love steampunk, and I think strategy games are probably some of my all-time favorite games after RPGs, fighting games, and like puzzle games and music games, kind of stuff like that. So I like the idea behind Codename Steam. I think the images that we've seen have been cool, and I think the gameplay looked pretty solid for being in what an early state as it was when we saw it back at E3. But I can't honestly say that I'm super excited about it either. And again, I think that's partially because of the fact that I know that Intelligent Systems has other stuff that they're working on. I know that there's a separate team that's there for Advance Wars, and we haven't seen an Advance Wars yet. Advance Wars is one of my favorite series. And on top of that, there's the Intelligent Systems people currently working on Fire Emblem versus Shin Megami Tensei, which is not even listed on the 2015 calendar. So I don't even know if that game is going to be released in 2015. But it was announced almost 2 years ago now. So what's going on with that?
They also have a Paper Mario team.
It's not. Is it the Paper Mario team? I mean,
Well, I don't know what team works. I'm just saying there's a team that traditionally works on Paper Mario. Do they work
Yeah.
on other games as well, or are they like, that's the Paper Mario team?
that's a good question. But they announced at E3 when we were in the roundtable that the team working on Steam is not the team working on Advance Wars and working on Fire Emblem.
Okay.
So those are different teams. Yeah.
Yeah, but I honestly, everything that I learned about this game, I don't think it looks bad. I just don't think it looks for me. So
Yeah.
it's like not for me. So I'm not really that hyped for it.
Yeah.
Then moving on to a game called Fossil Fighters Frontier. I did
So
not.
have you played the original games?
I never played any of the original games, but I thought they looked cool. How you use the touchscreen to like navigate or to like dig for fossils.
I am in the exact same camp as you. I've never played one of the Fossil Fighter games all the way through. I played like a demo, I think, for one of them, and then that's about it. Like I think they look cool, and I have nothing wrong with that series, but that series seems very D tier to me. You know, not even C tier, like very D tier.
Yeah.
So I'm not really super excited about that either.
Yeah.
But I feel like because we know so little about the 3DS's lineup for 2015, I think that makes it all the more exciting because there's some stuff that seems pretty certain to be coming next year based on other scheduling things and just rumors that have been going around. And if you want to talk about that now, we could talk about that.
Yeah, so let's predict what we think is going to happen with Nintendo 3DS, because obviously there's no way they could just release next to nothing for 3DS next year, because that would be bad.
Of course not. First and foremost, calling it now, November of next year, we're getting a Majora's Mask remake. I think this is the last opportunity for a Majora's Mask remake for that team. They already came out with Link Between Worlds. Zelda U is apparently coming out this year, the Zelda Wii U game.
Yeah, I don't play that.
Traditionally, they like to pair the console games with a handheld game. And I think it would be smart to have Majora's Mask come out at the end of this year along with Zelda for Wii U. because that way it's not an entirely new game that's taking away from the Wii U game, but it's something that people have wanted, and it's something that scratches that Zelda itch later in the year. So I think we are definitely getting a Majora's Mask remake in like November or December of next year.
Okay.
For 3DS, to clarify.
Yeah.
I also think that we are going to get some type of Advance Wars announcement. I don't know if the game is going to come out next year, but I do think that we are going to get an Advance Wars announcement. Again, that team knows that people want Advance Wars. They talked about Advance Wars doing the roundtable. People want it, and I think it's going to happen. So I think Advance Wars is on the way. And let's see, what else? I mean, what are some of your predictions before I get to my other big two?
Well, first of all, I agree that they definitely need to do a Majora's Mask 3D remake. I want it on the 3DS too, because I want to feel like, oh, both the N64 games were remade, and they both feel, like similar in the sense that you have both of those on the one system. They could even use the same engine that they made for Ocarina of Time.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if they're going to do a Majora's Mask remake, Cresso is going to be the one behind it. They were the guys behind the Ocarina one, so yeah.
Yeah, I really want that on the 3DS more so than even the Wii U.
Yep.
So, yeah, I agree with that. I think that I don't know if I think they will, but they really should as well. So hopefully they're going to do that. They know people want it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I'm going to say that's a good prediction for next year. Another thing I'm going to predict that we're going to get, and it's way overdue, a WarioWare or a Rhythm Heaven game for 3DS in 2015.
I wrote that. You and I, great minds think alike. I'm telling you. I wrote that on the list of the other three that I have predicted for 3DS was a WarioWare title.
Yeah.
Because it's long overdue on a handheld for a while. I don't know if it's going to be Rhythm Heaven. Rhythm Heaven is traditionally like near the end of the life cycle of a system. And I feel like 3DS has at least 2 more years in it. So I feel like Rhythm Heaven would probably be something 2016. But definitely a WarioWare.
Yeah. So overdue.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a new WarioWare. Because Game & Wario, while I kind of liked it, really wasn't a WarioWare game.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for a new WarioWare game. It's perfect for like an on-the-go handheld experience. So yeah, definitely want that next year. Can totally see that happening.
Yep.
But honestly, those are the only 2 predictions that I would have.
Really? Because I have 2 other big ones beyond. We just talked about WarioWare.
All right, lay it on us. Let's hear it.
I think this year, and I guess this kind of bleeds into Wii U predictions too, I think this next upcoming year is going to be the year of the rebirth of Metroid. Okay. I think 2015 is going to start the sort of rebranding for that franchise, which was burned with Other M. And I think it's going to start with an announcement of a Metroid Prime game for Wii U at E3, along with the announcement of a 3DS Metroid game. And the 3DS Metroid game, which will be similar to like a 2D kind of Super Metroid kind of game, but it will be in 3D, is going to be coming out next holiday. That's my prediction. I think we're going to get a 3DS Metroid game coming out for next holiday to hype us up for 2016's Metroid on Wii U.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yep.
So you're saying it would be like a new Super Mario Brothers game in the sense that it's like a 2D game, but it has 3D models?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it would also like really, I don't know, the Metroid series just seems perfectly tailored for the 3DS because all like the backgrounds are always so deep and rich, and exploration wise it would be cool.
And a lot of people want that.
Yeah, a lot of people want that. And that team hasn't really worked on anything in a long time. So
Which
I feel
team?
like that's probably what the Metroid team.
Retro
like
Studios?
No. Sakamoto's team. Like the actual team behind the Nintendo developed, like the Japanese Nintendo developed Metroid games. Because Retro Studios isn't just making all the retro games. Like Fusion wasn't made by Retro Studios. Other M wasn't made by Retro Studios. Right. Yeah. So
I think Retro would be working on the Wii U game.
Yes, okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think Retro is working on the Wii U one, and the Japanese team is working on the 3DS one.
Okay,
yep.
You're making some big announcements here.
Big predictions. Yep, and then my last prediction, which is very, very safe based on how the release schedule of this franchise has been for the past couple of years. I think we're getting in October, November of next year, I think we are getting Pokemon X2 and Pokemon Y2. Because traditionally, it has been recently a year with a new generation of Pokemon, then a remake year or something different, and then the year of the third version of the original games of that generation. So X and Y was last year. This holiday is Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and next holiday will be X2 and Y2, or whatever they choose to call it, like Z version or something. So yeah.
Well, Roger, you've just made me excited about 2015 for Nintendo 3DS.
There you go.
Now all this better come true, or we're all going to come looking for you.
No, I'm just making predictions. But I mean, I think they're pretty safe predictions because we haven't seen a lot of stuff from these teams. I don't know. I think they're safe predictions.
I think that would definitely make 3DS 2015 a good year. So let's hope at least some of those come true.
Yeah.
But moving on to that other system.
Yes.
What's it called
the
again?
one that everyone wants to talk about.
The Wii U.
Yes.
All right. I'm just going to go down the list of games that we have here, and then we're going to talk about them specifically.
Cool.
Are you ready? So there is Mario Maker, Splatoon, Yoshi's Woolly World, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, Xenoblade Chronicles X, The Legend of Zelda for Wii U, Mario vs. Donkey Kong for Wii U, and Star Fox for Wii U.
Yep.
I believe that's mostly everything. Now people are going to be like, hey, you forgot the robot game.
Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem apparently too, but that's been pushed back so much that we
For
don't
Wii
even
U?
know if that's still in development.
On Wii U?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought that was a 3DS game.
No, that was definitely a Wii U game.
Okay. Well, that shows how much I know about it. And then also, before anybody comments, yeah, we know there's like robot games and guard defense, whatever for Wii U.
We're talking about that too. Don't worry. We'll get into that.
That's Star Fox for Wii U. We're gonna get into that later. So
I don't think. Well, okay, we'll see.
Trust me. Well, you got different predictions, but we'll get. You were saying it before we recorded, so we'll go into that a little bit later. Yes. Mario Maker. Let's talk a little bit about Mario Maker and whether or not we're excited for it. I'm gonna start. Yes, I'm excited for it, and I hope it is incredibly customizable. What do you want out of Mario Maker?
First off, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm very excited about it. Mario Little Big Planet just kind of speaks to me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's going to be great. Personally, one thing I do want, and it's something they haven't announced, because right now they only have the graphical modes for the NES version and then like the Wii version.
Right.
So it's like HD and then NES graphics. I would love, hope you're listening, NOA. Or Nintendo of Japan. NOA wouldn't really have any power in this. I really want to see a Super Nintendo engine similar to Mario World, and I really want to see a old N64 kind of engine as well, because I think that would be really cool. And I want to be able to see those engines incorporate with each other, so we could have like an HD Mario running in a 2D background from like the Super Nintendo days.
So here's the deal. I feel like if you're going to do a game called Mario Maker that's all about making your own custom Mario levels, there are some rules here that you need to abide by. Number one. Sure. You need to give us the ability to change the art style to be all of the past 2D Marios.
Yes.
So original Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, 3, Super Mario World, New Super Mario Brothers. Those all have to be covered.
Yep.
You can't leave out any of those.
Yep.
Secondly, I don't see them doing this, so I'm already pretty disappointed, but I hope that I'm wrong on this. You need to give us the ability to make our own little world map at least. Like to where we can customize, like, even if it's not a world map, just some kind of way of like packaging our levels together. Like, These are my 5 levels. It's called the Joshi Power Pack. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, to where I can be like, hey, this is my pack of levels. I can share this with friends and challenge people to take them on.
Sure.
If it's just like, oh, you can make a level and you save it and you just share your one level, that's kind of lame, and that's really not taking advantage of what this could be.
Yeah, I agree with you. I want world map customization. That would be neat.
Yep.
I would love, I'm sure they're going to have this too, I would love the ability to sort of add however many bosses you want to a level, or have different boss enemies that you could then use to put together through your own world map or whatever. Like the different Koopalings, the other bosses that have been there throughout the course of the series. I would love to see the sun from Super Mario Brothers 3 come back as an enemy that you can put in every level.
I'm going to put 10 of them in one level and have
Exactly. That's what I would do. It's the kind of sick and twisted people we are, is put 10 suns in one level. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be great.
It's a dangerous game because on the one hand, it could be so amazing to me and make me so happy. And on the other hand, it's like, if they don't really run with this idea and they play it a little bit safe, it's going to be a big disappointment to me.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Yep.
Hope they really go nuts with it, because it's the type of game that can't be that difficult to develop. I mean, the development of that game literally is all about how much customization are you going to put in it.
Yeah.
So hopefully they go nuts with it. But moving on to Splatoon, which is a game that I have naughty dreams about on a nightly basis, Roger.
I love Splatoon. I played it at E3. This was actually at the very end of the show. I had a chance to play a little demo of it, like a 5-minute demo, really quick, while I was on the show floor. And then at the very ending of the show, when I had like my private meeting or whatever, Macy brought me and John over to go play that game, and Duncan. And God, it was just a ton of fun. I think it's the kind of first-person shooter that I would want to play. It's not a first-person shooter; it's a third-person shooter.
Right.
But it's the kind of shooter that I will play. because I'm not a Call of Duty person. I can give less of a crap about stuff like Evolve and Halo. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But Splatoon looks great. I think it looks interesting. And the thing is, I don't know how much you know about this, but Splatoon is having a lot of sort of cross promotion between the Smash Brothers community. A lot of Smashers have jumped on board on that game. There's already Squid Boards, which is the Splatoon version of Smash Boards. It already exists. You could already go register for it. I'm hyped for the game. A lot of the Smash community is looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be great.
Yeah,
and on top of that, Toon Girl will definitely be in the next Smash Brothers. Definitely.
Well, there's well, first of all, Inklings.
Inklings, yeah, Inklings.
They are both male and female, actually.
Yeah. Well, they had male and female Robins, so why not do that?
There you go. Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. Like, I generally do not like Call of Duty and all those kind of shooters. I do like GoldenEye though, because GoldenEye has like a silly quality to it in a way. It's like not super serious. I mean, you're playing as Oddjob throwing a hat. So like if you do silly things in a shooter, I'm totally on board. And Splatoon is very silly and crazy colorful. Oh my God, I can't tell you how excited I am for this. Like I wish Nintendo would do this more often, because they clearly have so many people that are talented and can just make something totally new. I want to see it more often.
Yeah. I think it's, we talked about this actually in a previous discussion we did about how people wanted to be a Sunshine sequel. And I'm like, no, shut your whore mouth. Because I think Splatoon being a new IP is just great. It's exciting for Nintendo. And yeah, I'm pumped for it.
Yep, so. I can't wait. I'm really interested what they're going to do, like, as far as single player goes. I do think there needs to be some kind of single player that's really fun.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious how they're going to handle that, because it really does seem like you need to play this with other people.
Yeah.
And also I'm really curious how split screen local multiplayer is going to work.
Interesting, yeah.
Because you can because there's got to be local multiplayer.
Well, from what I remember playing at E3, there was split screen, and it was playable on the gamepad as well. So, yeah.
So yeah, it'd be, and you know what else? At E3, they were playing via LAN. I don't know if that was just a special E3 thing they were doing, but they weren't playing online.
No, I know they were playing via LAN. So
I wonder if they would do that in the final version. I don't think they would.
I hope so. That'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So. I think LAN gaming is pretty much dead, but it'd be interesting to have the feature there.
Sure, for sure.
But and actually, that could be their solution to more people needing a gamepad. You know what I mean?
That's actually true. Yeah, that's right. We see, the thing is, when I think about Splatoon and more people needing a gamepad or whatever, have they announced that there are other games in development currently that use 2 gamepads? Because we still haven't seen any of those yet.
No, I think even recently Mr. Miyamoto has mentioned that there are no games in development that are doing that.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see.
But regardless, Splatoon is amazing. I want to make out with it and have Splatoon's babies.
There you go.
What do you think of that?
We just turned this into an R-rated podcast, so cool.
All right, well, let's move on to something happy, like Yoshi's Woolly World.
I love it, and I'm excited for it. End of story. When I saw it at E3, got to play it, wasn't expecting much because I thought Epic Yarn, while fun, was entirely too easy. This still seems very easy, but it seems like it has more depth to it. The level exploration is cool. This feels like the real Yoshi's Island game that I've been waiting for. Way more so than Yoshi's New Island was. I was not a fan of Yoshi's New Island.
Why?
And this feels great. So
why weren't you a fan of Yoshi's New Island, out of curiosity?
I wasn't a huge fan of the art style. I thought the level design was kind of lazy. Felt very copy and paste. Thought the ending was kind of lame. I thought the music was kind of lame. I thought the whole game was just kind of lame. And this does not feel... This feels like a fresh take on Yoshi, which is weird to say because it's just using the yarn mechanic from Epic Yarn. But it really does feel fresh. Having it co-op, having the exploration there, it's cool.
Are you ready for Grumpy Joshi to come out?
Uh-oh, what's coming out? Okay, go ahead.
Not excited for the game.
Okay, that's fair.
Here's why. I just played Yoshi's New Island, so I've already played this kind of game before very recently, and this seems like, while it's probably better than Yoshi's New Island, it's still the whole thing of, like, you throw the eggs, and I hate that mechanic, by the way. That, like, little thing where you press the button and then you have to wait for it to, like, aim. That's so...
Oh, yeah.
I hate that. It's so clunky and slow. Why not just let me, like, hold the analog stick in a direction and press a button or something? I specifically
remember at E3 you could tap on the gamepad and you could shoot eggs.
Oh, well, that's...
Yeah,
okay, so maybe that's better. Although I would have to keep looking down to do that, which is a bit annoying. But anyways...
Just play on your gamepad.
Also...
Like,
oh, no, I'm not doing that. This is a gorgeous game. I want to see it on a big HD TV.
Sure.
Also, I adored Kirby's Epic Yarn. That game is amazing. And I haven't seen anything so far in Yoshi's Woolly World that made me feel they still had ideas with the yarn. Like, it just seems like a lot of stuff that I already had seen. There wasn't anything like when I played Kirby's Epic Yarn for the first time, every freaking step that I took was magical because they had some sort of really clever thing happening with yarn. But with Yoshi's Woolly World, I'm just not getting that magic when I watch it. I mean, I haven't played it, so obviously this is just, impressions before I played it. But it just seems very much like, oh, we've been here and done this, and I don't see anything really new about it yet. I want to love it.
I mean, based on the level I played at E3, I thought it was really fun. So that's all I can base it on, gameplay-wise. I enjoyed it, and that's pretty much it. So
I want to love it, and I'm hoping that I do love it. But right now, I am really not wowed by it.
That's completely fair, though. We should move on, though, to Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Go for it.
And I love Kirby Canvas Curse. I love when Nintendo experiments with Kirby. Kirby is seriously like this piece of molding clay that they just throw into whatever new game idea they have. People have asked for a Canvas Curse sequel for forever. To be honest, I'm kind of upset that it's not on 3DS because when I was playing it on Wii U at E3, it kind of bothered me to keep looking down at the gamepad and looking up. So kind of the problem you have with Woolly World.
Yeah.
So I wish it was on 3DS instead. But the claymation look of the game is absolutely gorgeous. The art style is beautiful. It looks phenomenal in HD. And I love Canvas Curse, so I will definitely play this game.
Yep, I have the same feelings. I think it looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. Again, it seems like the type of game that you almost have to exclusively play on the gamepad.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's going to be easy to like not look at the gamepad yet still use the touchscreen to draw everything. So I'm really curious how that's going to feel. By the way, we in a previous discussion talked about the art style.
Yeah.
And you claimed that it wasn't real clay.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It was later confirmed that it is.
Maybe they changed it, but I'm telling you, it is not.
It's real clay.
Really?
Yes.
You gotta link me to this, son. I
will find
this
it.
Article for myself after this discussion is over.
Yep, I will find it. I will link with you.
I'm pretty sure I described how they did it in the E3 demo to take away the magic. So
yeah, but you were incorrect, which is
that's good. I'm glad I'm incorrect. I'm super happy that I'm wrong. Like legitimately, I'm very happy I'm wrong because that's really cool.
It's real clay.
Cool.
But anyways, yeah, I'm excited for that game. It looks cute. I don't know when that's coming out. That seems like it might be like later 2015.
I don't know. That seems like a summer game to me. That seems like a summer game.
I feel like it's a summer game in Japan, probably early fall in the rest of the world. But listen, we forgot to mention some of these games are apparently early or first half of 2015. That would be Mario Maker, Splatoon, and Yoshi's Woolly World. Those are supposed to be out in the first half of 2015.
And I think while we're talking about the first half of 2015, it would be not good of us, let's say, to not talk about DLC coming for games that we already love. So we already know Smash Brothers DLC is coming with Mewtwo at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
We know the Mario Kart Animal Crossing pack is coming near the beginning of the year.
Oh, yes.
We know, what's the other? Hyrule Warriors DLC is coming, I think, either by the beginning of the year or the end of 2014. I can't remember. But Nintendo sort of embracing DLC is probably one of the most exciting things to me about this generation. Like, them actually finally embracing it, because having DLC to sort of make games that I already love and want to continue to play, but I'm kind of growing bored of them, just to make them fresh again, and I'm really looking forward to the Animal Crossing Cup. We are a mere 2 weeks away at this point, at this time of recording, from the Zelda DLC pack for Mario Kart, which I cannot wait about. I think the Excite Bike stage that was shown in that trailer looks phenomenal.
Oh, yes.
The Epona motorcycle looks great. Everything looks good. I'm super hyped for it.
Here's a question for you, because I actually don't know. Based on my ignorance, I've looked at some of the DLC that's coming out for Hyrule Warriors, just like websites updating it. It doesn't seem that exciting. It seems like, hey, here's a bunch of non-Zelda characters that we made that now you can pay to play as.
No.
That?
So no. That they have been weird with the messaging on that. So that's what I thought too. That's not the case. So the 3 Zelda characters that you that like they released as DLC, where people were like, oh, these are going to be the downloadable characters. They are not the ones that they advertised them being. So they advertised them in some of the weird mixed early ads for DLC that the download characters would be Sia, Volga, and Wizro, which are the Hyrule Warrior like exclusive new characters.
Yeah, which I don't care about.
Yeah, actually though, Volga plays pretty cool, because what I was going to say is those characters have been released as free DLC right now. The stuff that is in the new characters that are going to be in the DLC packs, there's like a Majora's Mask one, and I think there's another one. I can't remember if it's like the past or something, or I don't remember what it is. But there's a Majora's Mask DLC pack, and there's 2 new playable characters in that pack. And I'm assuming it's going to be Skull Kid and the Happy Mask Salesman, just because that would make a lot of sense. But we don't know who those characters are yet, but they are not Volga, Sia, and Wizrow. They are going to be other characters.
So maybe I need to pay more attention to the DLC because I wrote it off as being like, oh, they're just giving us like color swaps and
no. So they are giving us new costumes for some characters. So there are like Majora's Mask inspired costumes in the Majora's Mask set. All of the DLC packs have new adventure maps, which is really cool because adventure maps take a very long time to get through. I still am not through the adventure map fully. The first one. That's given to you in Hyrule Warriors. So that's going to be cool to have a new adventure map. Just overall, I mean, I really found myself in love with that game, which is surprising because when I first saw it, I wasn't too hyped about it. But I honestly find myself playing more Hyrule Warriors on a daily basis than playing Smash Brothers, which is kind of crazy considering Smash Brothers is my life. So, yeah.
Well, that's because you don't really like Smash Brothers. I mean, you don't even play with items on, so.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Of course.
But yeah, and then you forgot to mention the obvious, completely amazing battle mode that's coming to Mario Kart 8 in the fall of 2015.
Wait, what?
The awesome new battle mode that they're making.
Wait, are you being serious right now? Because I haven't heard anything about this.
No, they haven't officially announced it, but...
No! Why would you do this to me? Why would you do that to me, man?
Well, come on, they've got to be making a battle mode, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to come in that DLC pack. I think it'll be
later. I think it'll be a third and final DLC pack or something.
I think that there's going to be this goes into DLC for, like I said, existing games we've already talked about, and this we can maybe segue into one of the other games that we're going to talk about, which is Star Fox for 2015. Right. I think there's going to be a lot of cross promotion for Star Fox because Star Fox is a series that never usually sells as well as it should.
It's
a great series, never really usually sells as well as it should. They always have a hard time bringing it back because they always try to find new ways to sort of promote the game and to bring out sales for the game. They released Star Fox 64 HD. I mean HD, what am I saying? 3D for 3DS. That did reasonably well, but it didn't do well enough for them to sort of warrant development of a new game immediately. But now that game is in development. I think they are going to be pushing the crap out of that game. I think we're going to see a DLC pack at the end of the year with Star Fox characters in the Mario Kart game. I think in Mario Kart 8, I think we're going to see a Star Fox pack because those characters are already talking animals. I think they just kind of make sense in the Mario Kart world. So I could see that happening. I could see them bringing back Wolf from Brawl as DLC as a cross-promotion for Smash Brothers. I think they're really going to push the heck out of that game because they need to, because otherwise it's not going to sell very well. You know, me and the other 10 people who are diehard Star Fox fans who love that series to death, we're obviously going to buy it. That's not who they need to impress. They need to impress new people and bring in new blood. So,
yep, and I think that'd be a brilliant way of doing it.
Yep.
Let's hope they're smart enough to do that.
Yeah. So, are you excited for the new Star Fox? Because I really am.
Oh God, yeah, I love Star Fox.
Okay, great, cool.
We know nothing about it, but I'm excited.
Doesn't matter. We saw like 1 5-second clip where Falco was talking and there was an R-wing and like a blank background, and I'm like, yep. Give me this right now, injected in my veins.
We didn't even really technically see the game. We were looking at they blurred it because that wasn't even the game that they were doing. That was just a tech demo they had.
Early development, yeah.
But a lot of the ideas that they spoke of, like with controls and things, sounded great.
Yes.
Co-op, where one person is controlling like a weapon that's underneath an R-Wing and the other person's controlling the R-Wing on the TV.
That would be super cool to have like co-op with different weapons and different vehicles.
Yeah.
And, like one person in the Landmaster, one person in the R-Wing, one person in the Blue Marine or something, or in some kind of new vehicle. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
There's a helicopter. There are new vehicles so far.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh.
That's true.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn more about that. I don't think we're going to learn more about it until E3 of next year. But
yeah, and I don't think that's going to be an early game for 20, because that's like early in development when we saw it this year.
Yeah.
So I think at earliest it's going to be like a late December 2015 release if it gets released in 2015 at all.
Yeah. I think it will, but there's another game I don't think will release in 2015. So let's move on to that. The Legend of Zelda for Wii U. That ain't coming out.
Agreement with you. 100% complete agree. I know they said in their recent call that it's going to be a 2015 game.
Yeah.
I am not buying it. I think they're going to try to push it for 2015. I think it's going to end up coming out in like March of next year, of 2016. I mean, I think there's no way that it's coming in 2015.
Yeah,
no,
I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Unless E3 next year is literally just like a Zelda blowout.
It could be, but here's my reason for not thinking it's coming. Actually,
okay.
There are too many games on this list that look like they would be in the holiday season of next year. For example, Star Fox, I think would be holiday of next year.
Yep.
I think something like Kirby and the Rainbow Curse would be holiday of next year. And I also think a game that they have not talked about yet is going to be holiday of next year. And guess what game that is?
What game is that?
It's Animal Crossing for Wii U.
Yeah, I am actually in agreement with you. I do think we're going to get Animal Crossing. I don't necessarily think we will get Animal Crossing next year, but I think there will be the announcement, and I think it will be in Japan next year.
Yeah.
Holiday. Yeah, I agree.
Here's the deal. Animal Crossing New Leaf was hugely successful for Nintendo. They would be so unbelievably stupid if they are not hard at work on Animal Crossing for Wii U and expecting it to launch next holiday season.
Yeah, I think here's the only. I'm in agreement with you, so I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just bringing this up. I think here's the problem with that, right? Is they have now established that Animal Crossing does better on handhelds than it does on home consoles. It just does.
Disagree.
The DS version, no. I mean, it's not even a disagreement.
You mean financially or creatively?
Oh, financially.
Well,
I mean,
somewhat.
no. I mean, it's no contest. Like, it's you can disagree with me, but it's objective fact.
Well, City Folk sold more than New Leaf so far, by the way.
Yeah, but it was also on Wii, and New Leaf has been out for
2
like
years.
a year and a half.
Well,
That
2
City
years
Folk in fact, I'm pretty sure you're wrong about that. I'm pretty sure City Folk has not sold more than New Leaf. I'm gonna go check up on that right now because I'm pretty sure you're wrong. But I know for a fact. I mean, Wild World did way more than City Folk did. Way more.
Listen. Here's the deal. With Wii U, you get a lot of the like handheld features on a home console. You could play Animal Crossing for Wii U while you're laying in bed by using the gamepad. You have a large touchscreen for typing, for writing letters, for navigating you have all the good things that come with Animal Crossing on a handheld, but you now can play it on a large, amazing TV screen where you can get a lot of atmosphere for your town.
Here's the thing about that, right? Is so many of the new features for Animal Crossing for the 3DS version rely on the fact that it's local and that it's Street Pass and that you can take it with you. And I think getting rid of Street Pass, unless they make like the 3DS version, it gets an update or something, and you could like use that as a Street Pass hub and then bring the Street Passes into the Wii U game. I feel like I'm just gonna regularly play on my 3DS instead of on my Wii U. Like I'd much rather play and would much more regularly play on my handheld than I would on a TV.
Well, listen,
I don't know.
I did a little research when people were saying like, "Oh, Animal Crossing belongs on a handheld because I can easily pick it up and play it," and blah blah blah. So I asked people to go into their settings and tell me what their average playtime for Animal Crossing New Leaf was, and most people, in fact, like 90% of the people that responded, their playtime was like an hour. Their average playtime was an hour. Now that is not pick up and play gameplay. That's legitimately sitting down and playing the game.
Right, but you got to remember, like, okay, for example, I had an hour-long commute when I lived in Chicago, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I would play that. It wasn't an hour, it was a half an hour-long commute, but total, it was an hour-long commute, right? I would play for the entire half-hour session that I was on the train, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of people do that. I'm sure a lot of people play it during their commutes. They play it during, you know, like while watching a TV show that they only half care about. That's what I would do too. I would like watch TV or catch up, binge watch TV and play Animal Crossing while I'm doing it.
But you could do that on the gamepad.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, you could do that in the gamepad. And I'm not saying I don't want a Wii U game. And in fact, like I said, I think it's coming. I just don't know if I want it as badly as maybe you do. But I'm still looking forward to it, and I still really love that series. And I mean, it's one of my top 5 favorite series of all time. I love Animal Crossing. So obviously, I would buy it if they announced it. But I think, I don't know. I think they're going to have some problems bringing it to a home console. So
I think that their hook with Animal Crossing for Wii U, at least one of them, is going to be that they have a bunch of amiibo for Animal Crossing on Wii U, and that's why people are going to go nuts over it.
We need to talk about amiibo because that's something for the prediction section. We have a lot to talk about regarding amiibo.
Let's go through the games that we haven't talked about really quick because there's not too many that are that important. Then we'll get back onto this because we're going to this whole Animal Crossing handheld versus home console debate.
Yeah.
And I'm very much like home console Animal Crossing, and I know that I might be in the minority.
I'm very pro handheld with Animal Crossing. So,
but you don't get the atmosphere that you get on it. Like I really like to feel my town.
Okay.
And on a little screen, I don't feel it as much. And also on the 3DS, the frame rate was kind of meh compared to a home console. You also have online limitations on a handheld system compared to what you would on a Wii U. Anyways, this is a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll do an Animal Crossing discussion when the time comes.
So anyways, we've got Xenoblade Chronicles X, and we've also got Mario vs. Donkey Kong for Wii U. Xenoblade Chronicles X, not necessarily my type of game. Looks like I'm going to like it more than the original Xenoblade on Wii. I love the fact that you can wear these big giant mechs and just fly around. If that's all that I can do in the game that makes me happy, that's enough for me. Like, that's cool in and of itself. I'm definitely interested in that. And then Mario vs. Donkey Kong for Wii U, I don't really give a crap about it. It looks like the same damn game that was on the DS, and it's not the good version of Mario vs. Donkey Kong where you're actually controlling Mario. So I really don't care about that.
Yep, I'm complete agreement. Same thing. Really hyped for Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think the mech stuff looks cool. I think seeing Xenoblade in HD is just going to be great. I love that world. I love the developers. I love the people doing the music. Like, one of the women doing the... Well, no, one of the guy... I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. I should look that up. One of the people doing the music for that game is the person who did the soundtrack for Attack on Titan, which is a phenomenal soundtrack. And they also did the music for Xenoblade. And I love the music in that series. I love the music in that trailer. I think the graphics are going to be gorgeous. The only thing I'm not really feeling is like the super anime-looking characters, because they look a little different than the first trailer we saw. Like the new one we saw at E3 2014, the characters look different than the first trailer we saw of that back in January. So that I'm a little meh about that. But beyond that, dude, I'm super hyped for that game. And Mario vs. Donkey Kong, I stopped caring about that series a very long time ago. You know what the last time I cared about that series was when they gave away at like E3 2009, they gave away free copies of the DS downloadable game. That's the last time I've cared about that series, and that's the last time I probably will.
Well, they totally messed it up, so...
Yeah, cool.
Did you play the Game Boy game, by the way? The Game Boy Advance title?
No.
You literally control Mario, and like there's platforming elements, and it's not stressful. It's like an actual puzzle game. And then they turned it into this like point-and-click stressful mess.
Ugh.
And that's what it is on Wii U, so yay!
Yeah, I don't care. And then we didn't talk about Mario Party 10, but we don't need to.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot that as well. I didn't even put that on the list. Yeah, and listen, that's coming from somebody who loves Mario Party. I loved Mario Party all the way up until Mario Party 9.
I love Mario Party too. I just still don't really care.
So. The vehicle is back. The whole Bowser gimmick seems like I just want collect coins, buy stars, really well-designed boards, go your own separate way. There's no vehicle. Make it pretty, and make the games really rely on how fun it is to use the gamepad. That's all you need to do. And that's not necessarily what they're doing, so whatever. We'll see. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I'm not hyped for it, and I love Mario Party, so I don't...
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go back to what we were originally talking about.
Yeah, so predictions. Yes. So we kind of already covered one of them, which is Metroid. I think Metroid is not necessarily coming in 2015, but I think it's going to get announced at E3, and then I think it will come in early 2016, and I think that Zelda is going to be pushed back to 2016 as well. It was interesting that you were talking about the fact that there seems to be all these holiday games for Wii U. Mm-hmm. And that's very interesting to me because I feel like they're big, hard-hitting holiday games were going to be released this holiday. So this holiday, we have Smash Brothers, right? And Hyrule Warriors was earlier, and then Mario Kart's going to be a big push. This is Mario Kart's first holiday. Next year, I think nothing on the release list, absolutely nothing, has the overall power, or will have the overall power, of a Smash Brothers or a Mario Kart other than an Animal Crossing. So I think it's Animal Crossing's for sure coming for Japan next year at the end of the year.
Yeah, we're both betting on that.
But I think that they need to put that also in America at the holiday 2015 for Wii U.
I don't see that happening though.
America. I think they need it because the games that are here, unless they really delay, I don't see something that huge for holiday. I mean, Star Fox is going to be great, but I don't see it being a huge seller unless they really do that cross-promotional push with Smash and Mario Kart. Xenoblade is also going to be great, but the Xenoblade series is not an enormous seller, Mm-hmm. So I don't see that being a huge holiday game. And if Zelda's pushed, I mean, there really isn't anything else coming in holiday. Maybe Kirby, but Kirby's not going to be huge. That's more an October game, if anything. And Splatoon, Mario Maker, and Yoshi are all earlier in the year. So...
Well, so they say. I mean, remember, Pikmin 3 was supposed to launch in March of, the Wii U's launch window, and that didn't come out until,
Pikmin 3 was supposed to launch in, 2011 for Wii.
Yeah, right.
So that's that, yeah.
You know what? I could honestly see either Splatoon or Mario Maker being pushed back to being fall of 2015.
No, Splatoon is definitely spring. Definitely.
I want to believe that, but I can see... Well, then I can see Mario Maker being pushed back.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, well, let's just save that because it's a Mario title and we'll just give it more development time and it'll be our big Mario holiday title for next year.
Yeah, I think Splatoon is going to be like an April, May release. I really do.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait.
There's always a... Oh, you know what? No, Mario Party 10 is going to be one of their holiday games for next year. I also think that Star Fox
Mario
will be...
Party 10 is early next year.
No, I don't believe that.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know anymore. I don't know.
I'm not going to say early, but I'm going to say pre-E3.
Well, they always need a Mario game.
Pre-2016.
They always need a Mario game for the holidays, so figure that out.
Well, okay, well, we're getting into that. So hold your horses, kiddo.
Hold your opponents.
We're going to get to that. So these are I was talking from the idea that my predictions that I have for next year are not going to come true, other than the Animal Crossing thing. Okay. That's where I was coming from. If they don't have any of the things that I am predicting they are going to have in the holiday, I think their holiday looks kind of bleak, so they're going to need Animal Crossing. However, and I think we might be on the same boat on that. We've already talked about Metroid. I think that's going to be 2016. There are 3 very big games that I think are going to get announced and potentially all released next year that we don't know about right now. They are not released, but I think all of them have a very strong chance of coming next year.
Okay.
And so I was thinking we just go one by one. I'm going to write them in the Skype chat for you right now. You might be kind of blown away by this, but those are my 3 guesses for the big games for next year.
I don't like the third one.
Okay, well, we're gonna get into that. So first and foremost, people have been talking about that Project Guard game and that Project Robot game.
Hold on a second. Before you go on, I just want to point out to everybody listening, I have a feeling that you've heard something.
I swear to God, I haven't heard anything. I promise you. This is just a very strong prediction based on their past games that they've released. And I think it's a very strong prediction.
Well, I like these first 2 things that you typed out.
Yeah. So the first thing that I think is going to be released next year, probably holiday, is Nintendo Land 2. So Nintendo Land was great. I'm kind of surprised they haven't announced DLC for Nintendo Land, and I think the reason they haven't announced DLC is because they're going to make a sequel. And I think Project Guard and Project Robot, which we saw at E3, which are still currently on the release schedule as separate releases, I think they are not that. I think they are actually Nintendo Land games, and I think Project Guard in particular, because we saw Star Fox logos, I think that is going to be a Star Fox-themed Nintendo Land game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know what other series they're going to throw into the next Nintendo Land. I'm sure some will come back. I think there'll be like a new Mario Nintendo Land game. I think there'll probably be like
Kirby.
a new Animal Crossing one. But yeah, Kirby's got to be there. I think even Blade could be there. Pokemon, Fire Emblem. There's a lot of series that we haven't seen that I think have very strong chances of being in there. But yeah, I think Nintendo Land 2 is going to be a big release for next year, and I think that's almost assured at this point, considering we already saw Project Guard, and we already saw Project Robot, and if you remember, Project Shoot, or whatever they were called, all the way back in E3, I think it was like 2011, those became Nintendo Land games. So,
well, listen, it's not a prediction if you hear something behind closed doors and then you pretend that it's a prediction, Roger.
I'm not, I swear to God, I don't know anything. This is like literally, I know you're pulling my string, but I got to like clarify that. I really genuinely don't know anything. It's just me guessing. But I think that's a strong guess. I mean, Nintendo Land 2 seems like a really strong guess. So,
you know what's weird? They don't even advertise Nintendo Land anymore. So either they're ashamed of it and it didn't do well at all and they would rather just bury it under the carpet, or they're planning a sequel or something.
I mean, it comes with every deluxe Wii, so why would they?
But they never talk about it.
They don't need to. It comes with the system.
Yeah, but they talked about
talking about Wii Sports.
They talked about Wii Sports like crazy.
And then you got to remember too, at this point in the Wii U's life cycle is the same time Wii Sports Resort was announced for Wii. So seems like a smart time for Nintendo Land 2.
You know what I want out of Nintendo Land 2? I want an actual overworld that I can walk around in.
That would be cool.
I did not get the. Listen, I've lived in theme parks pretty much. I've hung out with Peter Pan a lot. And let me tell you, if you make a theme park video game without a damn overworld to enjoy, you're doing it wrong. And that was the main thing that I hated about Nintendo Land. Like, it was this weird floating disc. I don't think so. Give me an actual
but I
Nintendo
loved
Land.
like walking around the plaza and seeing like the statues that I unlocked and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
they could have done that so much better. They could have had the statues, but make it like a little theme park to run around in.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, so you've heard about Nintendo Land 2. Go on.
Stop. I get this is going to be like reported on stuff. People are going to say, "Oh, Roger, no." I swear, I promise, I do not know any. I just have very strong predictions because I feel like this is what's going to happen. I promise, I don't know anything. I promise.
So what else have you heard?
All right, shut up. All right. So the other big prediction I have, and this sort of goes along with Amiibo. You know, Amiibo is getting this enormous push right now.
Yeah.
Enormous push, and we already know that some Amiibo characters work with multiple games. Yes. We've seen the Yoshi Amiibo, for example, works with Super Smash Brothers,
Yoshi's
Mario Kart, Woolly World, Mario Party 10, and the Smash Brothers for 3DS as well.
Oh, wow.
So the other amiibo characters that they're introducing for Smash Brothers have to work for other games as well. And I doubt that some of these characters like, I don't know, the Duck Hunt Dog, Marth, Captain Falcon, these are characters that probably won't ever be used for other games unless they have another Smash Bros-like game to use them in. And the only idea that I have is a potential amiibo RPG. And I feel like that'd be the best way to sort of bring these characters to life, and utilizing the stats that they've created in Smash Brothers would be to introduce them through a level-up system on some type of RPG game. So seeing some type of amiibo RPG where you bring in your characters, you maybe train them in the other games, in Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, whatever. Maybe playing them enough in the other games unlocks new techniques and new RPG skills, and then you just take your favorite character through a Nintendo-themed RPG. I think that would be really cool, and that would be something that Sakurai wouldn't necessarily have to develop because it wouldn't require, his development insight on creating characters and balance and stuff like that. This would be something entirely different, and I think Nintendo would be pretty open to this kind of thing. So, yeah, Amiibo RPG is my other second big prediction. And I don't necessarily think this will be late next year, but I do think that something similar will be announced at E3 next year and then will be released in 2016.
Okay. I like the idea of an Amiibo RPG. You got to use Amiibo in clever ways, and that's a clever way, so I'm on board.
Cool.
Where do I pre-order?
So, my third prediction, because I think Nintendo Land 2 still wouldn't be enough as a holiday game. And let me clarify again. I think Nintendo Land 2 will be a holiday game for next year. I think that'll be released end of 2015 alongside Xenoblade and, hopefully Zelda if it doesn't get delayed. And, yeah. Okay. My other big prediction, because like you were saying, they got to have a Mario game for the holidays. This year they've got Smash Brothers. The year before they had the new Super Mario Brothers. Or what? Oh, no, they had 3D World for last year, and then the year before that was New Super Mario Brothers.
Well, this year is really kind of Captain Toad as far as Mario games go.
Well, yeah, Captain Toad too. Yeah, you can count Captain Toad along there with Smash Brothers. But I think the big Mario type game that's going to be coming next year, because we already know that this sub-franchise isn't dead. They said they have ideas for it.
I wish it were.
Oh, shut up.
I wish it were dead.
No, be quiet. I think people want this. I particularly really want this.
People are idiots.
No, I think we're getting next holiday to be announced at E3 next year, E3 2015, or announced during their big January Direct where they always announce new games. I think the big holiday game next year is going to be Super Mario Galaxy 3. No, shut up. It's going to be so good.
Hey, let's do the same thing again.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, go Mario in space.
HD. Super Mario Galaxy 3 in HD would be phenomenal. And they're pushing Rosalina right now. Rosalina is the lightning of Nintendo.
Oh,
she is being pushed everywhere. Rosalina Amiibo would be perfectly used in Super Mario Galaxy 3. So would the other Amiibo characters, maybe having playable Peach or whatever, bringing in the other playable characters from 3D World into a Super Mario Galaxy universe. It would be great. I would love it. Other people would love it. People, leave in the comments below if you agree with me, because I think a lot of you do. Super Mario Galaxy 3, 2015, next year.
All right, well, here's something for people in the comments. Leave a comment if you agree that Nintendo shouldn't make the same game over and over again, and instead they should do something totally new with Mario.
Now, I would love something totally new, but I would equally love a Galaxy game. People want it.
Listen, they were grasping at straws with the whole Galaxy concept in Galaxy 2 by the time that was done.
Whoa!
It was like
Galaxy 2 is a masterpiece. I don't know.
It's not as good as the first game.
It's better.
No,
Hello?
It's definitely not.
Galaxy 2 is a better game.
It's so not.
It is a better game.
It's so painfully streamlined. It's the same stuff. Some of those power-ups are dumb.
Galaxy 2 is one of the best games Nintendo has ever made.
Oh, Roger, you're so full of it.
You're daft. You're daft, Josh. I love you, brother, but you're daft.
You know what I want? I want an actual Mario adventure game that's a real 3D Mario game that lets me explore big worlds, basically do what you did with Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine.
Okay, I would love that too. But,
all right, well then do that instead.
Okay, I'd be down with that if we had like Super Mario 64 too. Yeah. That would be cool.
That's what we need right now.
I think there's going to be a new, and I think we are both in agreement of this. I think there's going to be a new HD Mario game next holiday.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm hoping it's not Galaxy 3.
My bet's Galaxy 3, and your bet is 64 too.
Something that's more traditional, to where you're not in space, to where there's not like a bunch of gravity stuff going on.
Cool. You heard it here first, guys. All right, we're placing our bets.
But unfortunately, Roger's got inside information, so Galaxy 3
I
must
don't.
be real.
Oh my god! You gotta stop. You gotta stop with that. I don't.
He doesn't, guys. I'm just joking. Or am
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure that
Oh
out
my
later.
god! Be quiet.
So we've done a lot of predicting. We've talked about all the games coming out in 2015. You know what I think is definitely true, though, Roger? It's going to be a damn fun 2015.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good year for Nintendo.
If you like video games and you have a wiener, you're going to be pretty erect this year. I mean, that's what you were telling me before, right? I'm quoting you.
What are you? Oh my! This is on your channel.
This is what you said to me earlier.
Channel?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, the BitBlock's getting a little lowbrow these days.
All right. I think that probably started with your shirtless Wii Fit stuff.
Listen, there's more of that on the way.
All right.
There's a prediction for you.
There you go.
All right, here I'm gonna pose a question for you.
Sure.
Which 2015 game? This is how we're gonna end it. Which game coming out in 2015 are you most hyped about?
Star Fox.
Okay.
100%. People are gonna rip into me for not saying Zelda, but Star Fox. I've waited for a new Star Fox HD game forever. I mean, I personally love Star Fox Assault. I love that game.
Yeah, it's not as bad as people think. Thank you. Wow, we agree on something.
Yes. Oh, Star Fox Assault is fantastic. Multiplayer in Star Fox Assault is good. The music is the best soundtrack to date that Nintendo has ever put together. Objectively, it is the best soundtrack Nintendo has ever put together.
Preach.
That is not like from a Smash Brothers where it remixes all the game's soundtracks. It is the best original soundtrack. I love Assault's soundtrack. I adore that franchise. I think Star Fox is a series that's long overdue for a new entry. Hearing they announced a new one at last E3, literally I had tears in my eyes. I cannot wait.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I think if I had to pick a game, I would go with Splatoon.
Splatoon's a good choice.
Yeah, just because, it turns me on in ways that a video game shouldn't turn a man on.
Before we wrap up then, this is something that you actually didn't even pose. Sorry, I'm like throwing this at you off the cuff. If you can make one big third-party game prediction, because this year we had Bayonetta, right?
Well, that's
what do you think is going to be the big... Well, it's first party because Nintendo's developing it, but I mean it's a big franchise that isn't necessarily a Nintendo IP that was on a Nintendo system. So what do you think is going to be that game next year? Because there's got to be something. There's got to be at least one big third-party game. And I'm going to say this right now. You can't say Skylanders or Disney Infinity.
I primarily play Nintendo systems, so you'll have to clarify to me what a third-party developer is.
All right. Capcom, Square Enix, any of those.
Third-party support for a Nintendo system. That's a strange concept.
Yeah. But there's got to be at least one. I mean, there has to be. So they'll money hat if they need to.
Do you mean that it'll be exclusive?
Yes.
Okay, well, Disney Infinity or Skylanders are not going to be exclusive to any system.
No, I know, but I didn't clarify that part. But I'm going to say exclusive just to make it a little easier. So.
Do you have one?
Well, I have to think about it. That's why I went to you first.
Well, yeah, this is a hard question.
Yeah, I know. It's a very...
Can I just make one up even if I don't think it's going to actually happen?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to predict I can't even make one up.
Yeah, see, I was going to say...
Something Sonic.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say something Sonic too, because we already know that they have another deal with Sonic where they have like 3 exclusive games.
Yeah.
And Lost World was the first one, Sonic Boom is the second one, and they already announced that Sonic Boom is a break-off of the main series. It's not the main series, meaning that there's going to be another main series game. I could definitely see like another Wii exclusive Sonic coming next year.
What about a Rayman game exclusive to Nintendo?
I mean, that could happen too. I mean, I'm thinking bigger. I think there's going to be something big announced in January during the big direct they always have in January where they announce new games, or during E3. I think there's going to be a big announcement of a third party making a game exclusively on Wii U. I don't really have a prediction beyond Sonic, but I think there's going to be one. And if I had to guess,
Mega Man.
I actually think Capcom is going to say, listen, Mega Man was in Smash Brothers, people want him. Let's give Nintendo rights to that character, or at least to develop a game using that character. And I think it would be very interesting to see a Mega Man on a system the same year as Mighty Number 9, which is the successor to Mega Man, which Unifune is developing, and to see how those games turn out. I would love an EAD developed Mega Man, and I think that could potentially happen next year.
Or at least a Mega Man that was developed with assistance from Nintendo.
Yes, yeah. Because that seems to be how it is nowadays. Is Bayonetta was developed with assistance from Nintendo. Lost World developed assistance from Nintendo.
Wait, it was?
Well, I mean, in a consulting sense, they didn't like develop the game for God's sake.
I was gonna say,
like,
whoa,
that would have been sad. Yeah, no.
So yeah,
Cool.
2015, Roger.
Yeah, solid year.
I'm excited.
Yep.
By excited, I mean,
I know.
in a Splatoon way.
All right, so guys, you can find me at RogersBase on Twitter. I also have RogersBase as my YouTube channel. You can find me there as well. Josh will have the links to all of my channels in the description below. So if you want to follow me, you could just follow there. Because I knew you were going to say that anyway. Go ahead and introduce your channel, Josh. So,
well, I would have called you Roger. I wouldn't have called you Josh.
I know. Yeah, I know. But I'm saying to you, that's what you would have said.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. This was fun.
Yep.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching this video from TheBitBlock. If you want to stay up to date on tons of exclusive Nintendo content, be sure to subscribe by clicking here. And if you don't want the fun to end, you can check out more Nintendo coverage by clicking over here.